Criticism unsettles not because of its volume, but because of its interpretation. Words are spoken, but disturbance arises internally. The Stoics understood that what we call being hurt is rarely caused by the statement itself. It is caused by the meaning we assign to it. To remain unshaken is not to silence others or avoid judgment. It is to discipline the internal process that transforms words into disturbance. This requires more than emotional control. It requires intellectual clarity, an understanding of what belongs to you and what does not. Criticism belongs to the speaker. Interpretation belongs to you. Confusing these two creates instability. What follows are 6 Stoic lessons designed to help you encounter criticism without surrendering control over your internal state. Lesson 1. Distinguish words from judgment. Criticism arrives as sound, but becomes disturbance through interpretation. The first discipline is to divide what was said from what you conclude about it. A statement may be delivered harshly, but harshness alone does not injure. Injury requires agreement that something meaningful has been taken from you. Epictetus argued that events are neutral. It is the judgment we attach to them that produces agitation. Criticism is no exception. When criticized, the mind quickly adds layers. This is unfair. This lowers my value. These additions are not contained in the words themselves. The Stoic interrupts this process. He asks, what exactly was said without interpretation? This reduces emotional distortion. Once the words are isolated, their power weakens. Many criticisms lose force when stripped of exaggeration. This discipline is not passive, it is analytical. It places distance between stimulus and emotional response. Control begins with clarity. When words and judgment are separated, reaction becomes optional rather than automatic. Lesson 2. Delay the reaction. The instinct to respond immediately is strong. The Stoics resisted this instinct deliberately. Immediate reaction feels natural because it is habitual, but habit is not authority. Between criticism and response exists a narrow space. Most people collapse this space. The Stoic expands it. In that pause, evaluation becomes possible. Is the criticism accurate? Is it exaggerated? Is it irrelevant? Without delay, reaction becomes submission. You become governed by the moment rather than by reason. Seneca warned that speed amplifies error. The faster the reaction, the less it is examined. Deliberate delay restores control. It allows reason to re-enter before emotion directs behavior. The pause is not weakness. It is the moment where authority is reclaimed. Lesson 3. Extract truth, ignore tone. Criticism often arrives poorly delivered. The Stoic does not focus first on delivery, but on content. A harsh tone can contain truth. A gentle tone can conceal error. Confusing tone with accuracy leads to poor judgment. The disciplined mind separates delivery from substance. What is being said may still be useful, regardless of how it is said. If criticism contains truth, it becomes instruction. If it is false, it becomes noise. Both outcomes are manageable. Neither requires emotional disturbance. Most people defend themselves before understanding the statement. The Stoic understands first, then decides. This approach converts criticism into a tool rather than a threat. The value of criticism lies in its accuracy, not its tone. The Stoic listens for truth, not offense. Lesson 4. Remove dependence on approval. Criticism destabilizes those who rely on approval for stability. If your sense of worth depends on being seen favorably, then criticism becomes a direct threat to identity. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that public opinion is unstable. Those who praise today will disappear tomorrow. To anchor your peace in reputation is to accept constant vulnerability. The Stoic relocates value internally. Conduct determines worth, not commentary. When approval is no longer required, criticism loses its leverage. Independence from opinion produces emotional stability under judgment. You cannot be shaken by criticism if your identity is not built on being approved. Lesson 5. Govern emotional response. Criticism triggers immediate emotion, anger, embarrassment, defensiveness. These reactions feel automatic. The Stoics did not eliminate emotion. They disciplined it. Seneca described anger as a temporary loss of reason. It narrows perspective and demands reaction. Emotion is not the problem. Obedience to emotion is. The Stoic allows emotion to arise, but does not allow it to lead. If another person can provoke your reaction instantly, they influence your state. Emotional discipline removes that influence. It restores internal control. Power is not the absence of feeling. It is the ability to choose response despite feeling. Lesson 6. Use criticism as practice. The Stoics treated difficulty as training. Criticism is one of the most consistent forms of difficulty. Each instance becomes an opportunity to practice restraint, clarity, and reflection. Instead of resisting criticism, the Stoic studies his reaction to it. Where did I react too quickly? Where did I assume harm? Where did I lose composure? Without reflection, criticism irritates. With reflection, it instructs. Over time, repeated practice reduces sensitivity and increases control. What once disturbed becomes manageable. What once triggered becomes neutral. Criticism becomes less about others and more about self-mastery. Criticism will not disappear. Judgment from others is constant, but disturbance is not constant. It depends on interpretation, reaction, and discipline. When judgment is examined, reaction delayed, truth extracted, approval removed, emotion governed, and reflection applied, you become difficult to shake. This week, apply one discipline. When criticized, do not respond immediately. Pause. Separate words from meaning. Examine before reacting. Then reflect afterward. Did I react or did I choose? If this challenged your thinking, comment which lesson you struggle with most and subscribe, not for motivation, but for continued discipline.